435. That's how many seats there are in the U.S. House of Representatives. And tonight there is one big race in Georgia. Not all the 435 seats get the national exposure that this one in North Georgia does tonight. A lot of also, you've got about a 4-seat difference in the U.S. House, which means every seat matters even more the closer it gets. It's 218, 214 Republicans with the advantage. And so we've got a lot to talk about tonight. And we want to get to the new results first. You want to talk to our crews first? Let's go to so Colton Moore just arrived at his watch party a little while ago, and our Lily Butler's there, and she spoke to Colton Moore. We looked at some of the results, and there are some counties where he's gotten some votes, and there's some that he's not doing so well. So Lily, what did he tell you?
Yeah, well, first, I put my headphones in, guys, because I wanted to show you inside really quick where this party's happening. The energy is really ramping up in here. It's very loud. We've got a live band over there, and then right over here, this is the man of the hour here in Lafayette. We've got Colton Moore. Can't really see that well, but I'm going to go outside so I can hear you guys a little bit better, because there is still plenty of a party happening out here as well. We've got a bonfire over there. So yeah, I spoke with Colton, and I talked to his family earlier just before I talked to him, and he said it means a lot to have his family's support here, and that he's been feeling the support of voters in this 14th district throughout this process. So he seemed really hopeful, still had a lot of energy. He's been having a smile on his face for most of the night, and just talking to people, seeing him shake a lot of hands and meet a lot of people. So we don't have projectors up here yet with results going, but that's expected to start booting up soon over here. And we'll keep you guys updated with how the atmosphere changes as the night progresses. But what we've got for now is still very high energy, a lot of smiles and happy people inside and outside.
All right, good stuff, Lily. Thanks so much. We're going to talk to Alex and to Sarah in a moment. Since you mentioned some of those vote totals and whatnot, we've got some votes in, so let's go and take a look at that. We were here about an hour ago, and we told you what we saw then, which was basically just some early voting results kind of coming in there. But we're starting to see some real numbers here. Polls closed about an hour and 15 minutes ago, so we're starting to actually see some results here. There you can see the district there, which is we mentioned this earlier as well. That this district, this is a congressional district. We're in the Chattanooga TV market. It is split almost in half between the Chattanooga TV market and the Atlanta TV market, and so it really is interesting when you think about the differences there as far as who gets attention in what places and how does that resonate across the district. Well, we're getting some evidence of that tonight. So, and as we also know, if you pay attention to who's spending money on TV ads and what we're seeing a lot of Clay Fuller ads, Sean Harris ads. Those are two that are really getting a lot of attention. And some of the results that we've seen tonight kind of show how those things do pay off in the end. So here we are. So take a look at some of these counties here. Let's start in Catoosa County here. I believe all of the votes are in on this, right?
No, hang on. Yep.
All of the votes in have been counted in Catoosa County. So these are final votes here in this one. We have two counties that are final at this point. At this point, you got Clay Fuller with a 42.65% of the vote there. Again, if you want to win outright tonight, you've got to get 50% plus one vote or more. You have to do more than 50%. So if it shakes out like this in all the counties, you'd have a runoff between the top two candidates. So this is where we stand right now. You got Clay Fuller there with 42.65%. Sean Harris, a Democrat. He is finished second in Catoosa County at 34.56%. This is significant because this district is traditionally the most Republican district in the state of Georgia, one of the most Republican districts across the country. So you're seeing right here is interesting. How it shakes out at the end of the night, how it shakes out by the end of this race, still don't know. But the fact that he's getting a lot of votes, he started this race off with a lot of money in his coffers because he ran against Marjorie Taylor Greene in the previous cycle. He had money left over. So when this was announced, he was ready to go, spend money, get out there when he made the decision to jump into this race. And so we've seen that. So Colton Moore, we just heard from Billy there with the Colton Moore party. He's at 15% of the vote there in Catoosa County. The rest are far below that. Is that a good
Walker's all in.
a good assessment there. So let's take a look at another county here and see kind of where we are. What we just saw there with Fuller 1, Harris 2, Colton Moore 3, and a lot of people below that. Similar in a lot of places tonight. So let's take a look at here. This is Walker County. Is that right? So you got Clay Fuller here, 45%. You got Sean Harris, 27%. You got Colton Moore closer in this county, 18%. And then you've got a lot of folks. I mean, Jim Davis there, 1%. Tom Gray there, below 1%. So you got a lot of folks that are below 1%, at 1%. You see Brian Stover there at the bottom. He's spent quite a bit of money on TV ads as well. He's at 1.89% there in Walker County, and those results there. So let's take a look around. Chattooga County, I believe, is all in as well. Let's take a look at that. Chattooga County, the results here: Clay Fuller, 46%. Sean Harris, 24%. Colton Moore, 19%. Very similar to what we saw there in Walker County. So that's what we're seeing a lot of out there as far as kind of the ranges that we're seeing of Colton Moore doing really well, Sean Harris not far behind him, and Colton Moore a little bit behind Sean Harris at this point. So again, we have a cruise all around. So let's talk to some of those folks. Our Sarah Hauer has been at the Clay Fuller watch party tonight, and she joins us now. What are you seeing there, Sarah?
Yes, Josh. Behind me, you may be able to see some of the 40 to 50 Clay Fuller supporters who are watching those results roll in. Now, I've stepped outside because it is getting pretty noisy in there. But while I was inside, many of those supporters told me they support Fuller's message on things like public safety and many conservative policy priorities like border security and gun rights. And as I mentioned earlier, of the 22 candidates on the ballot, Fuller is the only one endorsed by President Donald Trump. And as those results continue to come in, I will keep everyone updated on my social media.
All right, Sarah, thank you so much for that report. All that very interesting points and good points, right? The one candidate who was endorsed by the president, and the president was just in Rome, Georgia here a couple of weeks ago. And then also the points that you said that he emphasized, right? It's interesting to look at the things that Clay Fuller emphasizes and the things that Sean Harris emphasizes, right? Republican and Democrat, both with extensive military backgrounds. There's a lot of crossover there. So interesting to make those points there. All right, Sarah, we'll check back with you here in a little bit. Let's go to Alex Guyevich-Prodich, AGP, standing by outside of Sean Harris's watch party tonight. Alex, what are you seeing there?
The vote, I should say, the feel is confidence. There's a ton of people piling in. They're about to film something over here for Sean Harris's campaign, but more people are piling in. More people are talking to Sean Harris. I spoke to him a few minutes ago about the results. They were up, and he said he was confident, but he doesn't want to celebrate too early. That's one of the biggest things here. Everyone's got a bright smile on their face. Everybody's liking it so far, but once again, results are very much premature. They're still coming in, and he prefers to wait. But again, a lot of confidence right now as far as getting to where they need to get to, as far as being in the runoff potentially, or just outright winning it. But once again, the feel generally over here at Harris headquarters is confidence and just a happy, bright feel.
All right, Alex, thank you so much, man. And so as we talked about, as the lead up going to this, right, we heard a lot of officials around in different counties saying this is probably going to go to a runoff. It's not, that cut and dry all the time, but you have 22 candidates. You're going to split the vote in a lot of different ways. You also have the situation where a lot of places, this is the only race on the ballot, and you got the area of the 53rd state Senate district there. You've got this race and that race. But with all that said, I just got handed this as Alex was there talking to us. The AP has called this race for Sean Harris and Clay Fuller to advance to a special runoff election for the U.S. House in Georgia's 14th Congressional District. So according to the Associated Press, now this is not final in the books. This is their projection, but they're calling this race at this point for Sean Harris and Clayton Fuller to advance to a runoff election, a special runoff election. I just heard today as well from the folks at Georgia Public TV down in Atlanta. They're going to have a debate, a runoff debate coming up on the 22nd of March as well. So if this holds up and look like a strong indicator for sure, you're going to have those two on a stage together and let them lay out their platforms. Like I said, a lot of crossover. You get a Democrat and Republican, but you have two people with very strong military backgrounds. And so it'd be interesting to see what that looks like, to get them both on a debate stage to talk out their ideas for sure. All right. So let's All right. So we're gonna say goodbye right now. We're gonna come back at some point before the 10 o'clock newscast to give you the latest update on that. But at this point, AP's calling it. Sean Harris and Clay Fuller moving on to a runoff. We will keep watching this throughout the night tonight. Also join us at 10 o'clock on Fox Chattanooga, also at 11 on News Channel 9. We'll see you soon.